All right, joining me now to talk about this is Dean Obeidallah, the Daily Beast contributor and the host of the Dean Obeidallah Show on Sirius XM Radio, and Jason Johnson, politics editor at TheRoot.com and professor at Morgan State University. Welcome to both of you. I found Dave Chappelle's monologue really interesting. I also found that most people left off that last line, Dean, right? Donald Trump has to give us a chance too.
Absolutely. This was not like some headline said, Dave Chappelle says, Trump, give us a chance. Let's give Trump a chance. He said, we demand that you give disenfranchised communities a chance. I love Chappelle's jokes in there. He's showing Donald Trump will make America laugh again, which is the upside of a Trump presidency. And I think that you're going to see Donald Trump be great for comedians. And my fellow progressives who are freaking out, comedy is cathartic. Let's laugh at it. Let's have some fun. It's empowering. Dave Chappelle's right. Donald Trump wants to reach out. Wants an open mind from us, he's got to reach out to us, come out to our communities, meet with our leaders, apologize for the hate he spewed, get rid of Steve Bannon. Number one, get rid of Steve Bannon. And then maybe we can work on things together.
One thing about comedy being cathartic, because Jason, as I watch Saturday Night Live, I didn't laugh very much.
No. Yeah. I'm one of those modern sort of millennial Gen Xer people. I don't watch Saturday Night Live as much as I used to when it was actually cool in high school. But I will say this. There is nothing to laugh about when the president-elect has picked a white supremacist with ties to terrorist organizations like the Ku Klux Klan to be his senior advisor. I'm not laughing. In fact, people are afraid and concerned. And I think the fact that Dave Chappelle said, look, we're going to give him a chance, he gives us a chance, and then 24 hours later, Donald Trump is attacking the press and putting Steve Bannon in that position. This is not something to laugh about. People need to be concerned, and people need to push back against this kind of presidency. If we laugh at it and we normalize it, there's a problem.
Here's the some strange things to me, right? Minorities did vote for Donald Trump. 29% of Hispanics voted for Donald Trump. 8% of African Americans voted for Donald Trump. Those are larger percentages than voted for Mitt Romney. The protesters on the streets are very largely white. So help me understand that, Dean.
I think because the younger people who are in the streets, we see they are mostly white, are upset by the political system. They're very upset about Donald Trump. Maybe they voted third party. Maybe now they wish they didn't vote third party and voted for Hillary. That's up to them. But Jason, I just want to say, comedy is cathartic for us. It takes away some of the power and the fear that Donald Trump is wielding. I'm not saying you don't take it seriously. We do. I'm Muslim. We have a lot to lose. This is very personal. God forbid there's a terrorist attack on U.S. soil by a Muslim. Right. We have no idea what Donald Trump will do to us. Internment camps could happen. I hope they have free Wi-Fi. That's the only thing I'm looking at is the upside. But let's be honest, we have to work together. We have to work together. Communities of color, progressives who believe in this. We are not defeated by this election. We cannot surrender. We're going to continue to fight. We'll prevail, but it's going to take a lot of work. But laughter is healthy. It helps us.
Laughter is healthy. And I think that protests are healthy, right? I'm just not so sure exactly what the protesters' end goal is.
Well, yeah, Carol, I think the protesters are just saying, look, we're going to be here and you can't just walk on over us if you're elected. But I also think this, we've got to wait to see what these final numbers are on minority voters. The Washington Post did a story earlier this week. They think that Trump's numbers with Latinos might be closer to 20. I think if the exit polls were wrong all year because people thought Hillary was going to win and Trump ends up winning, we can't necessarily assume that these numbers are right. But I'll tell you this. I'm all for laughing. I'm all for having a good time. But this president could pose an existential and physical threat to press members, to members of minority communities. And we have to remember that as we're laughing about him and thinking he's silly, he could also potentially be dangerous.
But here's the thing, Dean. You know, of course, I live in New York City, obviously, and I hear the fear because many minorities live in New York City.
Sure.
When I go into Ohio, I don't hear the fear. They're overjoyed. They think finally we have leveled the playing field because minorities were gaining far too much power. So how do you bring those two sides together?
I think one thing at the top I truly believe that not everyone who supported Donald Trump is a bigot or a racist. I do not subscribe to that. I do believe you are a racist or a bigot. Trump's the guy you went to. You didn't vote Jill Stein in the Green Party for recycling. But at the same time, there are people in need. Their lives aren't working out. I think we have to be respectful and understand that, not call them names. And at the same time, I hope they understand for minority communities like Muslims, Latinos, African Americans, LGBT, this is personal. There is fear. There's been a hate crime, a spike in hate crimes against our community. And sadly, I've seen some people, Trump supporters, coming on defending Steve Bannon. Hey, there's not two sides to anti-Semitism.
Right.
There are not two sides to anti-Muslim bigotry or demonizing Latinos. There's one side, the right side. It's wrong. And that's what we have to hear from the Trump supporters and the surrogates. Get Steve Bannon out of your administration, Donald Trump, if you want to be the president of all the people. If not, you've made your choice.
So I'm a hopeful type. I really am. I do believe in my country. I think that we will prevail. So leave us with something hopeful, Jason Johnson.
Look, I like you, Carol, am an Ohio voter, and I believe this. This is the most optimistic thing I can say. If Donald Trump says he is a law and order president, then I assume that when he is president, he will crack down on racist hostility and harassment in the same way he'll crack down on protesters. At least he'll be consistent.
All right, I have to leave it there. Dino Badala, Jason Johnson, thanks to both of you.
Thanks.